You know, there was a lot of really attractive watches released from Tudor at Watches and Wonders this year. The Black Bay 54 was pretty incredible, but my personal favourite has to be the new GMT with the opaline dial. Now, opaline, that word is quite important. They actually don't describe it as white, and it doesn't look quite white. It looks kind of metallic-y white, and that's why Tudor are calling it the opaline dial. Welcome back to the Chisholm Hunter channel. My name is Harrison, as always, and we're talking about the Black Bay GMT with the opaline dial. That's an important word. So there's lots of things that I took from seeing this watch and getting hands-on with this watch, but the one thing in particular that I took is that that dial is just absolutely stunning. But let's talk about some of the specs. The case on this model comes in at 41mm, and it wears absolutely incredibly well on the wrist. But one thing I would like to see from the GMT range and from Tudor itself is making that thickness slightly thinner. The waterproofness of this model comes in at 200 meters and has a bi-directional rotatable bezel with 48 notches in steel with a 24-hour graduated anodized aluminium disc. Now this disc comes in matte burgundy and blue, and we can see this in the previous version of the Black Bay with the black dial, and it looks stunning. Everyone loves that bezel. This Tudor model has domed sapphire crystal glass, which gives it a very vintage aesthetic, and I quite like that. Normally I don't like domed sapphire crystal, but on this, because it has that white dial, or not that white dial, that opaline dial, shall we say, it just looks quite clean, quite classic, quite, I'd say, vintage inspired. The movement on this model is the manufacturer caliber MT5652. Now this is COSC certified. It has a self-winding mechanical movement with a bi-directional rotor system, and it has a power reserve of approximately 70 hours. The bracelet on this model is a riveted steel bracelet, and it has a polished and satin brushed finish. Now I would like to see the Tudor T-Fit clasp on this model, and maybe in the future that's what's coming from Tudor, but who knows? I'd like to see that. I genuinely think, and I believe, that this is the best Tudor watch that Tudor have released this year. I liked the Black Bay 54, but it didn't kind of take me. I kind of go for the obscure watches, the ones that not many people go for, and I think this is kind of a dark horse. I think if you look at this throughout the year, it will gain momentum, whereas the Black Bay 54, it might lose some. Listen, this is just my first impressions. I would like to spend more time with this watch, get hands-on again and do a more in-depth review, but just so that you guys can see it here first at Chisholm Hunter, I thought I'd do this quick review for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you could hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.